Let us begin! On the trail to dawn. Ojika. A new world to explore. Welcome back, Demajen. I've just had word from Erenville. It seems he's managed to secure passage to Tural aboard a guild ship vessel. Why don't you wait in the main hall while I go and inform your travel companions? Should only take a moment. Okay. That's our new quest start. I was looking forward to seeing what that was going to be like. Oh, I should have gone to take a look at the map. See whether they've updated the texture on the map. Doesn't look like my shoulders are too pixely now. Look at that rug texture. Ojika gave us the good news. We've made ready to set sail at a moment's notice. The only one yet to arrive is Erenville himself. Speak of the devil? Yes, no, maybe? Yes. Ah, you're all here. It took some persuasion, but the Gleaners Guild ship has granted us places aboard a vessel bound for Tural. There'll be other passengers, researchers and artisans and the like, so we'll need to share deck space. That's fine, Erenville. I doubt anyone expected we'd have a ship all to ourselves. They're not casting off just yet, so if you have any lingering concerns, now is the time to voice them. I wouldn't call it a concern, but everyone's still clear on what it is we'll be doing in Tural, yes? We've not forgotten. The Nation of Tuliyolal is in the midst of deciding its next ruler. As your chosen allies, we shall assist you during the Rite of Succession and support your bid to become Dawn Servant. In addition to that, Alpha Noah and I have yet another objective. As part of its reconstruction, Golemel seeks ways to reconcile and re-engage with its neighbours. By visiting Tural, we hope to learn more about how its myriad cultures interact with one another, how they find common ground, develop stronger ties, the sort of insights that might help our friends in Ilsabard. But we'll pursue this goal in our own time. You can be assured that we'll give the contest all due attention. That's all I ask. Otherwise, you're welcome to do as you like. You wanted to find out about your grandfather, right, Kryl? Yes. As far as we could determine from the old missive I found, he had been tasked with investigating the Golden City by your father, the Dawn Servant. But oddly enough, we have no record of that investigation in our archives, and nothing to explain the earring which accompanied the letter which I am now wearing. This, for reasons both official and personal, I'd very much like to get to the bottom of this mystery. I'm sure there'll be a chance to speak with Papa. You can get your answers right from the source. I look forward to meeting him. Yeah, the textures are subtle, realistically. It's just a lot of the things that you kind of train yourself to gloss over, you don't need to do so anymore. And in fact, the fact that you're trying to gloss over them actually probably makes things a little bit weird right now. In any case, you're not the only one with an interest in the City of Gold. The Golden City is a children's bedtime story. I am part of this expedition only because the Third Promise is commanded that I serve as a guide. Still playing the part of the stoic servant, I see. What of you? Don't you dare tell me you've changed your mind. I go wherever adventures to be found. That's what they tell me. Right then. If all are still committed to the journey, then I say we make ready to depart. Nod. Start the nod counter. That's one. I'm not going to do a nod counter. I'm sure somebody will, though. Let me know if you've watched a playthrough with a nod counter. Tell me where it is down below, and I will go and check it out. Right, speak with Erenville. He hasn't moved very far. Oh, that's actually quite a cool feature. Just you can see people phasing in and out. Eager as they are, the others have already left for the harbour. We're not in danger of missing the boarding call, but perhaps we should... Mind you, it does look like they're kind of phasing into another dimension, doesn't it? Perhaps we should be on our way as well. I actually considered doing this on Dark Knight, you know. I'm not going to, but I considered it. I want to see what the changes are like. Sailors! Those are some nice trousers. Are we going to see Uyangé and Thancred getting on board a ship?
Savoring the moment? I can feel your excitement, your eagerness to explore the unknown.
Well, for once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We
Yet.
might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
Do not be so quick to relax.
You're such a downer, Enville.
Oh, Tural may seem but a short sail away on a map. The vast seas between brim with peril. The treacherous waters of Shade's Triangle alone have claimed countless vessels.
Shade's Triangle?
Even
Dungeon?
following the safe route plotted by Admiral Bufiswin herself, this will be no pleasure cruise.
Perhaps, but my voyage here was uneventful enough. Disappointingly so.
I like her voice.
Either way, the two of you have first-hand experience, which will be of great comfort in the days ahead, I'm sure.
Aye, it's nothing new to us.
What?
All aboard! We're casting off!
Sailor talk.
It's time. I trust you have everything you need?
Yeah, because I don't have any stuff. Nod. Oh, I like the glow on her hair. The bounce lighting. I do still think our hair's a little bit shiny. It could probably have done with some bump mapping texture-wise. But I appreciate that that's quite intensive. The volume of people.
And so does our ship cast off from the docks.
Is Owenville going to be our narrator?
We sail west, as Cattenram did some 80 years past, bound for the New World,
Aww.
known to her children as the continent of Tural.
I was going to make a comment on how Fortunato looked a bit kind of there, but he softens. Your foot is clipping through the floor there, Bucklamat.
Just wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done,
those
it'll
metal
be your
textures.
daughter who sits the throne. Me, Bucklamat.
She's going to fall off if she's not careful. What's going on in our head? Yes, the idea that this is the holiday expansion, I think, is probably going to be dispelled quite quickly. That would be my guess. Do, 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 do. I think they've upped the resolution of that slightly, better than it was. Doesn't actually look like the boat's moving there. I think they've got the camera moving at the exact same speed. Shadows are definitely better. They're still a little flickery, but...
Smooth sailing so far?
Aye, so far so good.
That's not the voice I was expecting for him.
But this sea, she's a fickle one. Calm one moment, blowing a gale the next.
Foreshadowing.
I'll take my rest while I can then.
Interesting that Owenville's hair actually looks a little bit kind of pixely in comparison to... Maybe he uses a unique hair that's not part of the So you'd think for a major character like Owenville that they would have done something about that.
We left port what seems an age ago now, and we've seen naught but open water ahead. I knew Tural was far, but it's another thing to really know.
That's what ship travel's like, Kryle. I like ship travel. Love me a good ferry crossing.
Speaking of which, some of our fellow passengers have made this trip before. Several times, in fact.
Talk to some people.
I was able
Nice
to
hair.
learn a few things about Tuliyolal and the Rite of Succession.
Yeah.
Since we still have a long way to go, why not have a chat with them yourself? I'm sure you have questions of your own.
Yeah. Like, what are we going to do?
Did you look out across these same waters, Grandfather?
Her pendant isn't a separate object. You can actually see it stretching as her chest moves. Again, it's polygon count. They don't want to run into the 1.0 issue. And they have upped the polygon count of everything. Right. Let's touch some fools. Hi, Ali. I can feel my edge start to dull on these long sea voyages. How about some light sparring later? Hello, retired mercenary. I see you in Eorzea before. You great and famous hero. Ah, I've had enough of playing the simpleton. There was a time when we took great pains to maintain the deception, but with more of you Eorzeans coming to Tural, it's becoming practical. Besides, my mercenary days are over. Too many of our warband have fallen, so we head home to lick our wounds. Oh, so the idea is that they've been playing the fool for a chunk of the time. My story? Well, since you asked, I wanted to retrace the historic journey of the great Ketsaram. You know, first Eorzean to step foot on Tural almost 8 years ago. Mamuljar's leaders said to welcome Ketsaram with open arms and sent him home with a bounty of silverware as a token of their friendship. But the real treasure was the friends they made along... No, that's not what that says. It was the crops he brought back. Potatoes, tomatoes. I'm British. Pronounce things right. And corn. The internet is for corn. I saw that video on Instagram earlier today, and it's which spread across the Eorzea like wildfire. His grand adventure led to a culinary revolution. The tales say Ketsaram returned to Tural several times after that. The ship vanished during his last recorded voyage, and he was never heard from again. Even a seasoned explorer like him could meet such an end as testimony to the ocean's peril. Indeed. Swarthy sailor. You want to make a wager? We're taking bets and all be sat next in the Dawn Servant's shiny chair. There are 4 claimants to the Rite of Succession, your young Wooklamat being one of them, of course. But from what a Mamuljar bloke was telling us, the other 3 are all strong contenders. Not too many keen to risk their coin on the third promise. So that's Wooklamat, the third promise. Alfie? I'm told this vessel has been equipped with a barrier generator to protect it from storms. A reassuring thought, though I nevertheless pray there will be no need for it. As in the kind that we used against Leviathan, one assumes. It actually doesn't look like we're moving at all, does it? But I guess they're probably assuming that we're not going to be spending too much time looking overboard. Passage to Olsharlian. An adventurer, I presume? I'm a merchant myself, based in Uldar. Specialty imports and exports, Eorzean and Turali both. If this is your first crossing the salt, as they say, do remember that the social mores of Eorzea are not necessarily the same as those over yonder. Consider this. It's not uncommon for the various races to be referred to instead of the names of certain clans. The Makote, the Hetsuro, the Hrothgar, the Zabron. Not because every member of a given clan is of the same race, mind, but because many individuals said races are associated with that clan. A fair assumption in certain cases, but take care not to give offence. Okay. Won't remember that at all. Oh, yeah, this will be my first visit to Tural. Fongentin's the name. I was working at S-Times Aesthetics and Aldar, you see, but my employment with them came to an end. That's why I visited Charlene in the hopes of starting over. While I was attempting and failing to find a new job, I seized the chance to board this vessel when I overheard room for another passenger suddenly opened up. I'm told the Dawn Servant welcomes all regardless of origin, so Tuliyolal seems like the perfect place to begin anew. Hopefully things will be better this time. Just want to check. Oh, okay, that's very wibbly. Yes, it very much looks like we're not moving. Now, I know ship travel is slow. It's not that slow. Did you learn anything of interest? Some stuff, yeah. Oh, I hadn't heard about that about the clan names. We should have Wuklemat and Erinville teach us the ones we should know. Actually, it's getting a little chilly up here on deck. Let's all gather into the cabin. Ooh! It's storming time. Stormy, stormy time. Boom, boom, boom.
We're in for a proper storm, it seems.
Of course we are. Wuklemat gets seasick, does she? Of course she does.
Stomach any better?
I don't know what you mean. I don't get seasick. I'm just feeling a little nauseous is all.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what seasickness is?
Ali telling it like it is.
Erinville, you were born in Tural, yes? Do many Vieira live there?
The Shatona, as my people are called, have settlements mainly in the north, in Shaktural.
Shaktual. Totally not going to remember how to pronounce that.
And your family?
I know nothing of my father, not even his name.
Oh.
As for my mother...
Whoa! Uh-oh. Combat on ship?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh joy. It's all gone to shit.
Come, we should lend what aid we can.
Of course we shall, Alpha, no. Of course we shall. Nod. You can definitely tell the difference in the lighting here. Again, it's subtle, but it's more modern.
I have not seen the ocean rage with such fury before or since.
Oh dear. Now they're just showing off the lighting, aren't they? Oh. And then waves?
The heaving waves tossed our ship about like a toy, sending sailors tumbling. The dauntless Alizé, quick to the rescue, was
No.
almost lost to the sea herself.
Oh, well done us, putting the barrier generator on. We're actually doing things in a cutscene.
Champion rushed to deploy the vessel's magical defenses, and thereby shield us from the lightning.
It's almost like I've done this before. Bzzt.
What an extraordinary life she must lead to be able to operate such a device with practiced ease.
Yep. Oh, poor Wuklamat.
Wuklamat, too, threw herself into the rescue efforts, though one might have mistaken her for another soul in distress.
I wasn't joking about the cough.
By the time the unruly seas had calmed, our strength was all but spent, and we had yet to even glimpse the shores of Tural.
Oh dear. They're very much.
In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude
Foreshadowing.
contest for the throne.
They're very much painting Wuklamat as, in some ways, quite weak and not naive, but inexperienced, but with a lot of bluster that has probably got her a reasonable chunk of the way in life, as is the fact that her dad's on the throne. We're having a little rest. Voice in our head. Well, we're having a little nap. Where is everybody? Shady. Seagulls! We must be close to ports or land of some sort. I'm trying to find the right volume balance on the speakers so that I can hear the music, but the microphone doesn't pick them up.
Joining us for some fresh air?
Apparently.
Seems my belly has settled along with the weather, but I'll feel much better once we're on solid ground.
Yeah. She's quite youthy like.
Can't be much farther now, can it?
You've done this journey already. Like multiple times. How did you survive?
Seabirds.
Yes, I do see birds.
Land must be near. You need only hold out a while longer.
I said that already, Erenville, but thank you.
For a dark moment, I thought the ocean might swallow us. Glad to have my pessimism proven wrong.
Pessimism? You, Alizé? No.
In other good news, I examined the sailor who took a fall, and he's faring well. I'm sure he'll make a full recovery.
Well done, you. With
Good
your silly
news
finger
indeed.
gloves.
If all's well, then we needn't delay in launching the landing boat. Ships have to lower anchors some way from shore. Too close, and they risk having their underbellies ripped open by the reefs that crowd Tuliyolal's coasts. Come.
Naoki Yoshida has put a message out on Twitter, currently ensuring the stability of the login server, and loggings are being proceeded in order. Login server is busy. Surprise on launch day. Can confirm that queues are progressing smoothly. Thank you for your patience. To avoid the login server from going down due to extreme load conditions, players may receive 202 error message when logging in. Just try logging in again. Right, ships have to lower anchor away from shore. Yes, okay, so there are reefs around. So we can't get too close to shore.
Thanks for bringing us all this way.
We only did what we were paid to do. Couldn't hardly set you adrift halfway. If anything, it should be us thanking you for helping us through that beast of a storm.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, everyone's starting to fancy your chances in the contest. At this rate, we won't be able to lay wagers no more.
Then I better not let you down. Easy, stomach. Easy.
I think Owenville should be the
We're
next.
the last to board. If there's nothing left to say, then let's shove off, shall we?
Nod. 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 that little extra unnecessary delay. Oh, there are some substantial reefs, aren't there?
Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon.
See, now we've got the sense of movement. Ah, this is the scene from the benchmark.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
Uh-huh.
There, look, my friends. Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
Oh, off with the hat.
Last, we are come to the land you call the New World. To my home, Tuliyolal.
Ish. Oh, why does it do that? Dawntrail. Ow. I wish it wouldn't pop up the reshade message. I can probably stop it doing that, but I haven't looked into it. Ooh. Unnecessary bit of slow jazz. Should probably pay attention to what's going on as well as getting absorbed. Bustling. Grass. New grass. I actually meant to go to Ilmeg just to see the grass. Has Alisay's sword always glowed that much? Or is that just a new addition for...
I've seen cities with an impressive mix of cultures, but this is something else.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a... No. I've never seen Vanu feathers in that color before.
You'll find much here you never knew existed. There may be a sea route now, but visitors to Tuliyolal are still few and far between. And as we don't build seafaring ships, only a handful of Turali ever venture abroad.
They don't build seafaring ships. Why not? I suppose if they've got reefs surrounding the nation, they'd require some kind of dock, essentially, out in the ocean to build ships on.
Mamulja sellswords mostly. Those willing to play the fool sail with Lominsan merchants to secure employment in Eorzea.
I suppose that makes us a rare sight in your country.
Rare and currently undocumented. Are there some forms we should fill out or...
Kryl. Oh, Kryl.
Forms? Did you forget who you're traveling with?
Oh. New fancy armor. That's a nice
You
moustache.
are outsiders? Visitors to Tural?
The Zral Landsguard.
We are.
Our nation is soon to hold a Rite of Succession to choose its next Dawn servant.
We are aware.
We will not abide interference from foreign agents seeking to foment trouble. What brings you to Tuliyolal?
I can answer that. These fine people are allies in my succession bid.
Is she going to get laughed at?
Third promise. If you vote for them, then all
No.
is well.
Okay. There is actually. I got this idea that she was going to be laughed at because of how they're building her up to be quite weak. But actually, there is, at least in her homeland,
Please, accept our apologies.
like his armor.
No
Feathers.
need to bow and scrape. That our soldiers are so diligent in their duties.
Of course,
fills
she's
me
in her element here.
We'll be continuing our patrol then.
The shininess on the kind of shoulder bumps. Again, I am going to spend far too much time probably in this playthrough just pointing out the little graphical things that I like. Because it's a big thing. Yeah. Sorry if that annoys you.
Well, well. You really are a
See?
figure of authority.
Ali is me.
here.
Are you suggesting I don't look the part?
Oh, look, no. Act.
Anyway, first things first.
Yeah, the metal on the...
I bid you welcome to Tuliyolal.
Thanks. This music is yet another Soken banger. Assume this is Soken, it could be other people on the team, but Soken tends to get all the credits. Oh, there are people here. Ah, it's so nice to feel that familiar breeze again. I wasn't sure my stomach would make it. According to Erenville, the Vanu I thought I saw belonged to a clan known as the Hanu Hanu. Seems they share more than a physical resemblance. What an amazing city, as lively as Uldar and even more colourful. I think the radius thing's actually getting a little bit overwhelmed. Or maybe it's just quite tight. Well, despite the storm's efforts to the contrary, here we are, safe and sound. Nice. You have arrived in Tuliyolal. You can return to the city at any time by speaking with a swarthy sailor in Sculler's Harbour in Old Charlian. The Nation of Tuliyolal is going to give us a new weapon, a 645 weapon. Do I need a 645 weapon? No, I actually have a 645 weapon, so I will keep that coffer for whatever I decide to. In fact, I'll probably use it for Dark Knights. That would make sense, wouldn't it? While being on solid ground has improved Wuklamat's mood, her stomach appears to be lagging behind. Don't talk about food. I've been up for a while. Right then, first things first. Still a bit queasy. No more boats for a while. I realise we've just arrived, but we should get you familiar with the city before the Rite of Succession begins. Talk west! No arguments here. I should very much like to explore. Then I'll guide you. Are you sure you're in any condition to do so? Oh, hello. Aha! We were wondering who these strange folk were. So the third promise has found herself some new followers then. Followers? Wuklamat, you unwell? No, not at all. Couldn't be better. The third promise does not get seasick, no sir. As for my hand-picked entourage here, I've recruited them to help me win the Rite of Succession. I was about to show them around the city, in fact. That sounds lovely. But a group of foreigners is going to attract attention, especially if they're in the company of the third promise. Everyone will be curious. We certainly were. Your siblings have a tendency to command a respectful distance, but you're just so easy to approach. And I enjoy it so much when you do. Please don't ever worry that you're a bother to me. You're very kind. Good day to you, third promise. So she is liked and respected, but she's not very strong, is what I'm getting. They did have a point. Ruklamat is technically royalty here. Like it or not, a person of her station surrounded by this many outsiders is bound to draw a crowd. Wait, what do you mean technically? I suggest we move in two groups so as to attract less attention. Just technically ignoring me then. I do like the banter between these two. Demajen, you and Kral can come with me. I'll take the twins then. We'll get in touch once we've had a good look around. That voyage was hard on all of us, so take it slow and recuperate. We have time enough for that. Little message for the players as well, I would think. Enjoy your wanderings. Also that. Take your time, look around, enjoy yourselves. There is no world first to 100. There is no rush. Perhaps we should wait a bit, at least until Ruklamat's nausea subsides. No need for that. Look, I'm ready to go. It's very jolly, isn't it, that little jingle? Speak with Ruklamat and have her and Krile accompany you. I'm fine now, really. Can't stand around all day feeling sorry for myself, what with the contest looming and all. Now then, seeing as we're already here, I might as well tell you about the harbour. Enville already mentioned the reefs in our coastal waters, which explains why you don't see any big ships moored at the docks. Only vessels with shallow drafts can navigate the bay, mostly small fishing boats or barges ferrying cargo up and down the rivers from inland settlements. Much of the incoming traffic is from Dawntrail, the southern landmass. The clans there produce various goods for exports. The wares were unloaded here and carted off to the merchant stores in the neighbouring markets. Speaking of which, Bayside Berry should be our next stop. Ruklamat and Krile are now accompanying you. You can leave them behind if you wish, but while you're accompanied, you may encounter conversation points. They are blue and glowy. Whoa. Okay, I think maybe that needs a little bit of a timer. And I think possibly a wider radius as well. Welcome back. Next I'll have you carry that. Oh, give me, I mistook you for a dock worker. I do have the look of a dock worker. It is true. Right, what's our frame rate like? Not amazing, but that's not surprising because this place is going to be absolutely rammed. Can I? See whether this will... No. FSR was working better in the benchmark. But obviously having DLSS on a 4080 Super is probably the smarter option. What did Cast Shadows do? I'll have a play with that in my own time. Don't think that's made a huge amount of difference, has it? Hey, the ambient occlusion used to make a big chunk of difference frame rate wise, but I suspect most of it is just the fact that there's so many people here. This is Bayside Berry, Tuliyolal's largest marketplace. Being right on the harbour, everything from fresh fish to imported wares go directly to the shelves. Anything you want, they most likely have. Oh, right, I should mention here that here in Tuliyolal, we buy things with Pel, currency that the Pelu created. Don't worry, more and more traders coming in from Eels, so most shops are happy to accept your gil. That's handy. There's also... Oh, that's Wachumeki, isn't it? Another market's the Easter Fair. Wachumeki. But that can wait for another time. I have other places I wish to show you first. Next, we'll head back a bit, then northwards up the stairs to a certain plaza. I can't wait to see the look on your face. Right, we've got the leaf meats. These guys have... Here at the Wing of Reflection, we offer work to willing artisans by way of petitions filed by the citizenry of Tuval. If you'd make further inquiries, you need but speak with Malihali. Malihali, the leaf meats. Okay. Goblin slash moblin slash... I see the market boards. And the summoning bell. And the hunt board. Dawn Hunt Vendor. We've still completed the side quest, Elite and Dangerous. Okay, so that's something for later, I guess. Market board, delivery Moogle. Oh, what does this remind me of? This reminds me of... It reminds me of something. I cannot think. Oh, yes. Oh, I can see people just sitting and I can see me just sitting and listening to this for a while. Anyway, what do you think of that, eh? Oh, what am I supposed to be looking at? The Aetherites. Goodness me, you have Aetherites. I can say that word. You have Aetherites in Tuliyolal. I think I told you before, but my brother Kwana spent 3 years studying in Charlian. He fell in love with the nation and its ways and brought back to us the knowledge of Aetherite construction. Papa warmed to the idea at once. Had one built immediately. Did you do the attuning thing? The attuning thing! If you're ready to continue, we'll head down again and then up the slope to the side. Right at the top is the gate which leads to Dawntrail? Is it Yak? Jack. Let's make a stop at Bright Plume Post on the way though. That's the HQ for the Lands Guard. Yeah, so the reason why they had to travel on ship is because they haven't attuned in Eorzea, one assumes. We won't need to worry about that anymore. Right, so we wanted to go back down and up this big old slope. I could run. It reminds me of something from FF7 Rebirth. Oh. I can't remember where the... Oh. Just random conversation points. Discuss Tuliyolal's elevation. Trudging up and down all these slopes and stairs is exhausting. I understand now where Wuklimat gets her endless endurance. We have a lot of narrow winding streets that crawl up the sides of the mountain. As you can see though, the builders made sure the city's main thoroughfares were wide enough to accommodate wagons. Yeah, it reminds me of one of the themes from Rebirth. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head which one it was, but it's definite. There we go. See, that's a better frame rate. I strongly suspect that Husky by the Geek will be doing a guitar version of this particular theme as soon as he hears it. So much good stuff. Bright Plume. I'm going to continuously call it Bright Bloom. Here we are, Bright Plume Post. As long as I, be fine as long as I take the moment to read. The soldiers stationed here are responsible for defending Tuliyolal and preserving the peace. The Landsguard are led by our nation's strongest warrior, so naturally Papa has commanded them since the beginning. At least until 3 years ago, when Zoral Jar took over as commander. The title is no empty honour. It means the first promise is considered equal to the Dawn Servant in martial strength. Meanwhile, I haven't even managed to... well, I'll discuss my brothers and their accomplishments later. Alphano and Alize should be around to hear it too. Come on, it's time I showed you the Sky Gate. It's right at the northern end of Talon March. Bah! Had your sound effects to go with it. Kind of wasn't expecting that. What is that? Oh, it's... I thought it was some kind of weird hole in the chest piece. No, it's Wooklumet's arm that's clipping through him. Already we have had... Shiny. Already we've had many a hilarious incidents. That's a big gate. It's massive, in fact. Massive, isn't it? And on the other side is an equally massive bridge to match. Both were constructed by a race of giants, the Yokhui. Strictly speaking, Tural is actually two separate continents. Yoktural, the southern lands of the mother, and Yaktural, the northern lands of the father, which lie beyond the bridge. Legends say it used to be one great landmass, but long, long ago the two gods fought a titanic battle, and when one threw the other to the ground, the impact was so devastating as to split the continent in twain. A familiar sounding tale. I'm put in mind of the conflict between Hydaelyn and Zodiac. But getting back to Zaktural, those lands are also part of the Tuliyolal nation, correct? That's right. Isn't my father incredible? He united the peoples of two continents into a single nation. The many clans of Tural had been at war for generations. It was only when Papa travelled the lands and put a stop to their myriad conflicts that we finally had peace. And that's the main reason I want to win the throne, so I can preserve the peace he built. But I see you're more interested in what's behind the gate than hearing about my aspirations. Crossing the bridge to Yaktural requires a special travel pass. Unfortunately, they won't issue any new permits until the Rite of Succession is over. I promise to get you one when I'm Dorm Servant, but until then you'll just have to wait. Then I'll make sure you win, mark my words. You really mean that? Heh, woe to anyone who stands between you and adventure. I just like big gates, and I cannot lie. I like big gates and I cannot lie. All the minions spawn in. You must have covered half the city by now. Tuliyolal isn't like any other place I've visited. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. Me too. Creation stories are often rooted in true events. Given the similarities, could it be that Tural's legend was inspired by Hydaelyn's clash with Zodiac? I would think so. I would think so. Yes. Right. That's going to do it for the first bit of recording. I'm going to try... Ow. Because I've got to get up and move around, otherwise my back is just going to go... and I'm not going to be any good for any recording, so I'm going to have to do a couple of quests at a time. Whether I'll have edited them together in one longer video, don't know. Haven't got a plan. Surprise. Welcome back. If you've been anywhere. If there wasn't just a cut. So I don't know. I've just been and collected all the aetherytes whilst I've been waiting for the video to do its thing, and it's getting quite warm in here, so I've taken off the old hoodie, because otherwise I'm just going to die. And nobody wants to see me die because, well, you'll never see it, will you? Because if I've died... Well, anyway, welcome out. Ready to commence the second half of your Tuliyolal tour. I've actually been round it just to take a look. The view from the top is quite impressive. We'll head west next, towards the Arch of Dawn. The dirigible landing is on the way. You have dirigibles too? Tuliyolal certainly doesn't want for methods of travel. But yet, bye. Now, if you've seen enough of this area, let me know and we'll continue on. The Arch of Dawn is on the other side of the city, so speak up if you see something that interests you as we walk. Okay. So yes, it's actually quite a trek over to get to the Arch of Dawn, which is all the way over here. You see that? You can see that. That man's shoulders are on fire. Wonder how many people have fantasied out to Femroth. Trial. I'm still struggling to conceive how one could construct an entire city on the side of a mountain. This was originally the site of the Yohoi Temple. The giants built it when they were first making the bridge to Yatral to appease the god who slumbers in the Great Ocean Trench. After the Yohoi withdrew, the temple stood empty for centuries. So when Papa was establishing his new nation, he saw a structure he could refurbish into a palace, sitting practically in the centre of Tural. The giants descended from the Asians, who were big. He gathered artisans to do the work, and the houses they built for themselves became the foundation of the city you see today. Speaking of houses, we'll be passing through the Resplendent Quarter, the biggest residential district in Tuliyolal. We climbed these stairs, set of stairs here all the way up. Okay. Yes, the view from the top is quite nice. Look at all this lush scenery. I've already done this once, but I'm doing it on camera now as well. It's the little things, alright? Discuss. The palace. That's the palace. Papa's palace is called Volok Shunsa, which roughly translates to invincible resilience. You probably want to take a closer look, but we'll be coming back here later. Let's move on for now. The sheer scale of this place is incredible. Wonder what that carving at the top represents. Oh, you can actually fall off that. I mean, I meant to check, but... The arterial climb. Yeah, that's quite the view. Right, where are we going now? Yes, Splendid Quarter. I don't know how much time I'll spend in most of the city. But there tends to be a concentrated part that you visit, usually around the Etherite Plaza. So, this is the Resplendent Quarter. What manner of people live here? Oh, we have residents from all the Dawntrail clans. Mamulja, Zebril, Pelupelu, Moblin, Hanu. We also have Tonawatwa, Itsaro and Shatona, who moved south from their ancestral lands in Dawntrail. In essence, it's a gathering of people from every corner of Tural. A true representation of Tuliyolal's diverse character. The adornments on each building contribute to the eclectic cultural aesthetic. It's also beautiful. I'm glad you think so. Come, continue down the stairs. Yes, it's got puffballs. Are the Moogles here? Discuss the huge drum. What huge drum? That huge drum? Yes. That big drum there is called the Dawn Herald. They play it for formal occasions, like when honouring the Landsguard's return from a dangerous duty. I tried hitting it with my axe once and ripped the skin. A proper scolding, let me tell you. I think that was the time Papa held me upside down by the ankle. I've never seen such an enormous drum. What would one even use to beat such an instrument? Indeed. An alpaca keep. The alpacas just made a long journey, so I'm giving them a bit of a rest. That storm really churned up the trails, and my four-legged friends are having a harder time than usual. Interesting, so the storm made it here as well. Welcome! If it's an alpaca you need, then look no further. Before we get you saddled up, I need to add you down to our register. Make things smoother the next time you need a ride. Uh-huh. So they're chocobo porters, but with alpaca. Because of course they are. So many people around. And here are our dirigibles. Not bad, eh? I hear other nations use airships to sail the skies, but you'll only find balloons in Tuliyolal. We have them for the exact same reason as the Aetherites. Quana brought back the plans from Charley, and Papa thought them fantastic and commissioned their construction. This was around 3 years ago. Since that time, we've added flights to other settlements. Trade with frontier communities has never been easier. But that's enough about dirigibles. The Arch of the Dawn awaits. Yeah, so it sounds like they go to places, they find stuff that would help trade or maintain order and peace, and they appropriate it for their own use, which is probably a good idea, a good way of doing things, really. Alpaca. Ooh. This is it, the Arch of the Dawn. When the Giants were still here, it was known as Dawntrail Landgate, but when Papa founded Tuliyolal, everyone began using its present name in honour of his great achievements. Through this gate is Kozuma Uka, the wetlands south of the city. Depending on what the Rite of Ascension asks of us, we might end up going in that direction. Zamauka. The name alone is intriguing. Speaking of which, what were those fluffy animals we passed earlier? I'll pack up my bags. Ah! Those are alpaca. Fearsome, four-legged fiends. Fearsome? They seemed quite placid to me. They are not. Well, they can be. You'll learn soon enough, Kryl. You'll learn soon enough. Wooklimat seems like she's got some trauma when it comes to alpacas. Don't we all? But forget the alpacas. I have something far more important to show you. Come along. Come along, pond. Yes, I assume we cannot go out that way just yet. Morrow's Measure. That actually is quite useful to be able to see it. If you wish to learn the history of Tuliyolal, look no further. These stone pillars, you mean? A city of stairs? Oh. 645 chest. Tempted just for the glams. I want to see what the outfits are like. What's special about these pillars, if I may ask? Well, check that in a second. At a glance, they look like ordinary stone decorations. If you take a really good look, you'll see there's something much more interesting. How much 645 have I actually got? Not a lot of anything, really. So I think I'm just going to do the glam. The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. Well, I don't have any of those. Because I'm not worried about how long it's going to take me to hit 91. We are getting some, I think, hiccuping. Could be because I'm recording. Could be there's a whole host of things. Could be that I'm trying to push it too hard. Pictures. Wait, no, these are glyphs. They seem to tell a series of stories, many of them featuring a two-headed Mamuldra. Oh, then this must be... That's right. Follows the exploits of my father, Galul Jar Jar, and his journey to unite our lands. We call it the Tuliyolal Saga. The deeds he performed and the bonds he forged, all immortalised in stone. These are going to get broken by the end of the game. There's no better way to learn how Tuliyolal came to be. Study them as long as you like. That would be my guess. Oh! Oh! It's a new gimmick! This pillar tells the lay of the Brotherhood. It depicts the scene where Papa granted an audience to the foreign explorer kept something. I can never remember the name. You mean Ketemram? Ah, that's the one. Ketemram's arrival in Tural is what prompted Papa to embark on his own journey. It's said the two grew to be close friends, brothers in spirit if not in blood. No one knows what became of the explorer in later years. Ketemram's disappearance is a mystery in Eorzea as well. The records say he travelled between our lands and yours for a while, but then it's assumed he was lost at sea. There's a lot about this guy, which leads me to assume that we're going to find out more as we go. Has it just switched to night time? It has. Ticked. Here we have the Lay of Reeds. This is the story of when Papa visited the Hanu in the village in Kozomauka. Ah, the people Alphano were mistook for Vanu. If not for the colourful plumage. Spent a fair bit of time among the Vanu in the Sea of Clouds, so it's no surprise he took an interest in your countrymen. I don't know how it is with your Vanu, but our Hanu are a bright and cheerful sort. They hold this one festival every year. Very famous and a lot of fun. The Vanu like drums. That's about as much as I can remember. This one recounts the lair of the past. As you can probably tell, the figure depicted here is of the Zabral, like me. For decades, the Zabral and the Mamul-Jar were at war for control of the forest of Yaktel. The actions Papa took to end that conflict have since been hailed as the first steps in the founding of Tuliyolal. There's a clan of Hrothgar and Boja known as Hellions. In their society, the women rule as queens and the men serve as devoted subjects. Yet here in Tural, Zabral men and women appear to be of equal status. How dramatically culture can vary with location. Uh-huh. Oh, let's see. This one is the Lay of Pots, which depicts the moblins of Kozama Uka. They might wear odd masks and sound weirdly muffled when they talk, but the gold and silver work they sell is the best you'll find anywhere. Moblin goods are the standard when it comes to gift giving. Clearly the Vanu aren't the only people with distant Turali counterparts. If you're done with the first half, we can move on to the second. Sure. I like the world building. Storyteller, remember? Lay of Gold. The Lay of Gold. This pillar shows one of the Pelu Pelu, whose homeland is in Ukapaka. Having created our currency, the Pelu are rightfully known as the Merchant Clan. They oversee Tuliolal's markets, and their travelling peddlers are a common sight no matter where you go in Tural. Don't let their size fool you. They might be mistaken as children, but beneath those beaked masks they're clever and calculating traders. We saw one of those in the benchmark. The map bits. Oh, this one is my favourite. The Lay of Ice. It depicts the battle with the legendary Tural Vidral, Valagamanda. I should explain, a Tural Vidral is a creature that has lived far beyond its usual lifespan and awakened to preternatural power. The Tarot described this forest and auspices in a similar fashion. Could this be the same phenomenon? Valagamanda itself was dubbed the Sky Ruin, a name earned for the destruction and terror it visited upon Tural every time it stirred from its slumber, which of course it is going to have been woken by the storm. Probably. But 80 years or so ago, its ruinous reign was brought to an end. After a great struggle, Papa and his comrades managed to overcome the raging Vidral and sealed it away in the Okapatra Mountains. Despite its reputation, however, Valagamanda is also a symbol of power. That's why you'll see its likeness on Tuliolal's national emblem and adorning the banners at the palace. The Lay of Proof. That big fellow is of the Yakhui, the largest of Tural's peoples. These giants once used their great size and strength to establish a dominion encompassing all of Yak Tural. Having brought the southern reaches to heel, they then turned northwards, setting their sights on Zaktural. You recall that massive bridge they built beyond the Sky Gates. Sometime after launching their northern campaign, however, they just gave up. They abandoned the lands they conquered and withdrew into the mountains of Urkapatra. I've never even seen any of their kind so much as set foot in the city. This was a people with the power and resourcefulness to raise a temple on a mountaintop and build a bridge across the sea with stone. What would move them to renounce their ambitions and their place in Turali history? There's of course Thingy 9, what's it called? Solution 9 is on the northern continent, so they saw that and thought we can't compete? Maybe? Oh, this one's unmarked. Papa says he left a blank pillar for the next chapter of Tuliolal's history, whatever that might be. Had your fill of history then? Sure. I feel I have learned stuff. Glad to hear it. You know, I feel awfully hungry all of a sudden. No surprises there, seeing I couldn't keep anything down for a while. But now I think I'm ready to eat again. So, let's go and have ourselves a bite of a local delicacy. Come, I'll take you to the best restaurant in the city. I like the sound of that. Food. Not quite lunchtime here. 11:48 AM. Not sure about that date thing in the corner. I don't know whether it needs to be there. Annoying actually, because I spent quite a while setting it up, but boop. But it'll show over all the cutscenes and stuff. I think I'll just take it off. Apologies if it's been driving any of you to distraction. Obviously, I don't see it on my screen. It's on OBS itself. Exaltation. Zbaljavchi. Yes. What a lovely establishment. I'm reminded of the Bismarck. Have you ever had tacos? It's Friday, not Tuesday. They're a Tuliyolal classic. You bake a crunchy shell made from corn flour and fill it with meat and salad. A lot of shops and stalls sell them, but I like how they're made here. It's... Yes, there. And I need one right in front of me right now. Let's head downstairs and place an order with old Brookie-Voo. Okay. The Saga in stone. I assume. Little bit of a delay with the MSQ symbol showing up. Nice. I'm voice acting, so I don't need to try and do it.
My companions must sample your heavenly tacos. One for each of us, please.
Is there a problem?
Right away, promise. And I'll pack them tight with my choicest feelings. Only the best for you and your friends.
You're very pink. Pink cat.
Did you hear the silver scales are back? Seems their overseas foray ended in disaster. More than half their warband is missing, including their leader.
My adventure senses are tingling.
Aye. And now keen to rebuild their broken reputations, the survivors seek the Golden City. A fool's errand. How many hopefuls have disappeared in search of that fable? They should count their lucky stars they came home alive at all.
The legend of the Golden City is well known here, I take it.
It is, but as no one's ever seen it, many question if there is any truth to the tale. Like our skeptical Erinville.
I can't imagine the Dawn Servant would request a formal survey for a place that doesn't exist.
Ever so slight zoom in there. It's like, Demajen is thinking. And we know how dangerous that can be.
Now to find a spot with a pleasant view to enjoy our crunchy spoils.
Crunchy spoils. I really like the new eyes. Oh.
Oh.
This is one of the...
If it isn't the third promise.
Oh, no.
Who's this big jackass?
I don't know these ones. New salt.
The eyes of the chameleon-like head.
Dredge from foreign waters is my guess, brother.
Oh, there's something really weird about how the two-headed thing works.
Of course, that's it. Wuklamat is so afraid of the coming contest that she went crying for special help.
Uh-huh.
Was there something you wanted, Bakul Jaja?
The third promise remembers us.
The mighty.
Such an honor. Glory on your name, brother. And on yours, brother.
I know my rivals for the throne. Nothing more.
They're quite large.
Another child of the Dawn Servant?
No, this brute.
We have no ties to their farce of a family. Unlike the sneevling house cat, we are blessed.
Oh, these.
The elevated
Yes.
chosen. We alone are fit to succeed Golul Jaja as Dawn Servant.
I think I heard a little bit about these. These are the kind of ones with the superiority complex. In fact, they may even have mentioned them.
Equal in Tuliyolal. Your heritage gives you no greater claim to the throne.
Shall we test that idea here and now? See if your strength is equal to ours.
You're two people.
None of this has any bearing on the Rite of Succession, correct? Best not waste your energies on pointless scuffles.
Pointless scuffles. Also, we kicked their ass.
The kitten comes to the house cat's defense.
Oh, don't piss Kryl off. She'll wreck you. She's friends with Tataru, and Tataru is a void sent.
Since when was our nation overrun by mewling weaklings?
Listen to me, you.
Don't worry about it. Not worth the hassle.
A two-headed Mamulja. I knew of them, but that's the first I've seen.
We've met them before, though, haven't we? Or have we? Didn't we, like, way back when we were doing the Mamulja quests? I forget. It's been a while.
Some get it into their twin heads that they're destined to follow in my father's footsteps. So they travel to distant lands to hone their battlecraft.
Well, it's a wise strategy.
Those are likely the ones you've heard about.
Mm-hmm.
Are there other two-headed claimants?
No, just Bakul Jaja. Even in Tural, his kind are far from common.
Probably for the best.
The Mamulja people largely belong to one of three clans. The Hubigo,
Known issue. We've identified an issue where the currency element in the HUD layout is shown black if it was set to Elegant Tombstone of Comedy prior to patch 7.0. That's a very odd thing to tweet about. The Mamulja people largely belong to the Hubligo. Yes. Taco.
Bunewa,
They're the chameleon ones.
and the Dopro.
They are... Yes. Ones.
Every once in the great while, a two-headed offspring is born from a union between the brown-scaled Hubico and the blue-scaled Bunewa. The child grows to possess immense strength,
Interesting.
both physical and magical.
So same clan, no, same race, different clan, but they've kind of evolved apart?
Blessed siblings indeed.
Nod.
Forget them. Let's go and buy more tacos. I can think of nothing better to rid me of this bad taste in my mouth.
Oh. Hello?
Enjoying your tour of the city, I trust. We've seen our share of notable sights and took a moment to rest. As such, we're ready to present ourselves at the palace for the Rite of Succession. Shall we meet you there?
No tacos for us then.
The palace it is. I'll let Wooklamart know.
Why does Wooklamart not have a link pearl? You should be part of the group chat.
Destiny calls. Perhaps we can return for more tacos later?
But taco. I'm hungry now.
So it goes.
We don't have to present ourselves now. We could have tacos first, surely. Priorities, people. Tacos before plots. I was looking forward to trying some authentic Tuliyolal cuisine, but we should hurry and join Alpha now and the others at the palace. Oh, right. It's a bit of a climb to the top, but you can head up from the Resplendent Quarter or even the eastern side of Talamarch if you prefer. Now that you have an idea of how the city's laid out, I'll let you find your own way to Volokshunasha. My poor empty belly. Take some to go! You can literally eat on the move. Where are we going? Up there. I wonder where the NPCs are. Owenville? You have a better feel for the city now? I do. You made it. Good. Then we're all here. I'm still hungry enough to eat a whole roasted colibri, but the contest won't wait for us forever. Mountain Chromite chest. That seems familiar. It looks like a... Looks like some level 70 Alamegan stuff. Upon speaking to Owenville, several cutscenes will play in sequence. I recommend you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. The Rite of Succession. This is the quest that we had to do in order to unlock the hunt board? Was it? Ow. Yeah, I think that's right. I've acquainted the twins with the city as best as I could in a short time. Their unbridled enthusiasm made it rather difficult. Invariably something would catch their eye, spurring them to run down an alley to investigate. It was like herding a pair of unruly curls. I understand all too well. Charlene had the same effect on me. Right then, now it's time we saw the inside of the palace. Papa will want to know I'm home and to meet the allies I've chosen. Given how impulsive he is though, there's no telling what we might be in for. Yeah, there's something very, very different about that jingle in comparison to others. Those are some big doors. Palestinian. It is Estinian.
Estinian? When did he get here?
He took a shit before us.
Why is he here?
Oh, you know this man?
Yeah.
Whenever my father spots a promising opponent, he invites them to Sunperch to duel. Pressing duties or no, he can't resist a good fight.
So the one Estinian is crossing blades with.
Oof. We're just looking impressed.
That will do, Spearman.
I will receive my darling daughter.
Vow of resolve, Galul Jaja. Spearman? Hi!
Know that you are the strongest I fought in many a moon, if not longer. It is the privilege of a life long lived to face such a formidable soul.
Justinian's done a lot. It's interesting the other one's got a face covering.
If it's formidable you want, then look no further than that woman there.
Oh, good, just throw us in it. Thanks, Justinian. Hi!
I see you, warrior.
Warrior! Just a little smirk.
We had no idea you meant to visit Tural.
He didn't. He just got on a ship, didn't he?
I've seen what lies east. This time I chose west.
Completely unrelated.
Our itinerant dragoon make his travel plans.
You witnessed our bout. If you thought he was fearsome, that was with one head dozing.
The other one's asleep.
I'm not sure I understand.
Just the face covering.
The old man has been feeling his years.
Aww.
The uncovered side is the head of resolve, and age has only deepened his love for combat.
Can he hear you?
But the head of reason, wiser of the two, sleeps more and more these days. As I understand it, the veil helps with the restoration of his magical energies.
Interesting.
Enough about me, Lamati. I want to hear of your adventures.
Lamachi.
Pet name?
A term of endearment. It's what my family calls me.
I won't remember that.
Oh. When last did we see you in the palace? Greetings, Solonesh.
It's Erenville now, Don Servant. I took the name while abroad, and have since grown accustomed to it.
Erenville, then. And these others, I assume, are Lamati's recruited allies. Ha! Old-tempered steel. Yet as much as I'd enjoy testing their metal, the hour of the right is at hand. I will summon the other claimants at once.
Is this going to be over quite quickly? Oh, I'm just checking the random stuff that they're posting. Known issue number 2. Other characters or parts of the UI may appear black or not be displayed properly. Please check the graphics card and display settings on your PC. Yeah, is this going to be over quite quickly? Oh, you're not going to join us?
Fortune, my friends.
Hi. I see. So who are the other... Oh, I suppose the first part is going to be a series of quests for a quest line, perhaps? As opposed to it's just going to happen in this quest and that's it. The whole thing's not going to be over at level 90, surely. Maybe. Who knows? I don't. It's definitely the smallest.
The claimants are assembled. The first promise, Zorolja. The second promise, Kona.
Kona. I've been pronouncing his name wrong.
The third promise, Uklamat. And lastly, the chosen of Mamuk, Bakul Jaja. You four will compete in the Rite of Succession.
So this starts.
The outcome of which will decide who takes my place as Dawn Servant.
Kona is a machinist by the look of it.
I am not the man I once was. My wiser half sleeps the days away. And it is time I yield my position.
And yet he's still got the wisdom to know this.
It's a torch that has never been passed. Tuliyolal is young. And so I look to thee always for inspiration.
Who's this?
The Rite of Succession. The means by which the Autarch of Mamuk was chosen. Only the two-headed were deemed fit for this contest. But the Tuliyolal I built is a nation of many peoples.
This guy's not going to like
Our
this.
leader
He's very much us first.
Or be a Mamulja at all.
See?
So I gave the right of claimant, not only to the son I sired, but to my adopted children as well. Yet the opportunity to rule was still not equal. That is why a recent tournament offered a place in the contest as the winning prize.
Which is how, what's his Galul Jaja? No, the other guy. That's Galul Jaja. This guy. Oh. So that extra little bit of...
You have
cool.
to compete against. Though it seems the one head was already too afraid to face us in the tournament.
He says nothing.
Our brother was in Shock Tural leading the Landsguard on a campaign to eradicate a Tural Vidral.
Anyone
with sense would know he was too busy for games.
Ha!
Now for the part you've been waiting to hear.
Got a bit of an ego. Cool.
The contest itself.
Yes. What does it actually entail?
To triumph in the Rite of Succession, and thereby claim our nation's throne.
Aha!
We must travel
We're going on an adventure.
And find the City of Gold.
Oh. Interesting.
If I may, Father.
Speak, Kona.
Kona.
The Golden City is an ancient Turali legend, but after so many failed attempts to find it, the story has become more fairy tale than fact.
Yes, and that's why he's getting you to find it.
If you would charge us with such a quest, are we then to assume you have proof of the city's existence?
I offer us proof, my unbroken word. For I have seen it with my own 4 eyes.
Oh. Which is why Kyle's grandfather was...
All those years.
This was before the founding of Tuliyolal. I traveled the lands of Tural with my companions. And we ended our journey at the gates to the Golden City.
But never went inside.
I mean to have you do the same. But in order to achieve victory proper, You need to break.
So this is how it's going to get us to go out and explore and adventure. Decent conceit, I like that.
Bring them.
That's tank armor, and I want it. I just really like that shoulder pad. Plus, of course, there's the new dual channel dice system, which I haven't even looked at yet. Do. So these are the different seals. What was that?
Tuliyolal Saga.
Oh, we've just looked at that.
You will retrace the path I walked to unite our peoples.
Aha.
Step by step. Along the way, 7 chosen electors will be waiting to measure your worth.
Okay, yeah, I can work with this.
Earn their keystones by performing the feats they ask of you.
Some might say that it's a bit video gamey, which is fine because you're playing a video game.
Once you've fitted each of the 7 tablets with the keystone, you'll have the key to unlock the seal on the Golden City's gates.
We're still got to find it. Something tells me that this...
So the contest is in stages, none of which can be skipped by rushing to the ultimate objective.
Yeah. Something tells me this still isn't going to take until 100, though. Or maybe it will.
Exactly. Exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
Martial tournaments, hunting festivals, and now this? You do so love your contests, Papa.
Were I a few years younger, I would have joined in myself, giving you a proper challenge. You may think the ride is tedious or nonsensical, or both, but I am yielding.
We get to go and look at the peoples. See who does what, who needs what.
Let me have this final indulgence.
He's saying like he understands that it is a bit whimsical, but actually the deeper idea, I suspect, is that by travelling around and doing the tasks for people, they will test their appropriateness, you know, their willingness to help the disparate peoples, which is why this guy is probably going to get it through trickery or force, and we're going to end up fighting him.
A waste of time. Just name Bakunja just successor and be done with it.
You've got to earn it, mate.
The Rite of Succession begins now.
Just ignores him.
I'll be watching your progress with great interest.
Yes. Me too.
And Clemens, remember to collect your tablets before you leave.
So it's not just a kind of martial tournament. There's more. You know, this is why she needs a team. Though she didn't know what it was going to involve, unless she'd been given clues and hints. Well.
You are one of Lamachi's allies. Speak freely.
I am Cryle Baldessian, representative of the students of Baldessian. My name is perhaps familiar to you?
Ah.
It would seem you sent this letter to my order some years ago. The ink has since faded and much of the writing is illegible. Even so, we managed to determine the essence of it. A request to investigate the Golden City, addressed to my grandfather, Galuf. Included with the correspondence was this earring. A fairy tale and a piece of jewelry were enough to convince my grandfather to sail halfway across the world. So there is surely some greater mystery at work here.
It's not as simple as...
On behalf of the students, I've come to seek clarification on the matter. Have you any knowledge you might share with me?
No, not at this time. I have tasked the claimants with finding the Golden City. To fulfill your request would afford one of them an unfair advantage in the Rite of Succession.
Yeah. Woodclamat would, Oh.
Once the contest is decided, I plan to entrust the entire truth to my successor.
The entire truth.
Want to hear it?
That's a very specific phrase.
Then you had best help Demajen win.
No favoritism, but...
Very well, Dawn Servant. On my honor as a student of Baldessian, I will find your Golden City. Thank you for hearing my petition.
Not... Right. Where is...
How about that? She's grown into a remarkable young woman. You should be proud, Galuf.
He knew him. Ha! Nice little tidbits. Thank you, game, for that. That's so colourful. I wonder if there's any meaning to the different colours.
Too late to change your mind now, I suppose. But are you sure you wish to be part of this?
We get to go exploring Ownville.
Our third promise is not wont to take no for an answer. Though you may have agreed to help, I worry that you were swept up in her relentless enthusiasm.
I am relentlessly enthusiastic myself, Ownville. Have you not noticed?
Or perhaps you've been lured by the glory of the Golden City. Either way, this contest for the throne will place you and yours at the heart of political turmoil.
Oh, well, it's a shame we've got no experience at dealing with that.
If you are second-guessing your decision, tell me now. This may be my last chance to help you withdraw.
Uh-huh.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend. And there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it.
Wise words, my friend, wise words.
Then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another.
Yeah. And this, of course, is the next road, isn't it? We've had the Zodiac Road. This is a new road, a new journey. And I suspect they will remind players of that. Because there is a lot of, you know, unrest.
So you are committed to your path?
Can they continue? Can they improve? Can they write a worthy successor story to the Zodiac and Hydaelyn saga?
I will speak no more of it then. As for my own involvement, I can no longer conduct myself as a mere guide, I think. Not after the Dawn Servant's revelation.
You're an adopted son yourself. Oh, or the revelation as in the City of Gold's real.
Here they come!
It's Saralja!
Such a fearsome mien. Make no mistake, there goes Tuliyolal's mightiest warrior.
First promise, our village needs aid. The cold weather stunts our crops, and the children of our village go hungry. Once you ascend the throne, I beg of you, grant my people new lands, please!
Saralja.
Take heart, tiller of the soil. The Resilient son, blood heir to the Dawn servant.
Yeah, so he's the actual son.
Please.
And he's wise enough to pass off the...
Saralja, the first promise and commander of the landscape.
To pass off the kind of wisdomy bits to the more magically or wisdomly inclined. Wisdomly, that's a good word. Our word.
Saralja, the palaceer. As he was so careful to remind the crowd, Saralja is indeed the natural child of Gurul Jaja.
Uh-huh.
And Resilient Son, is that another title, like the first promise?
After a fashion. Common knowledge has it that two-headed Mamulja cannot sire children. Yet Saralja was born all the same, with the head of Resolve's features and the head of Reason's scales. An extraordinary example of life's unyielding resilience.
Oh, interesting.
And a warrior's reticence. He says little, but the way he moves... I know a hardened soldier when I see one.
He's a natural swordsman, a gift he inherited from his father. Some even say that the son has already surpassed the sire. Should he come to power, the first promise means to employ that martial prowess in the conquest of foreign lands. For this, he and his supporters have been labeled expansionists.
Yes.
This puts him in direct opposition to Wuklamat, who advocates for the preservation of peace. You may recall that she spoke of a claimant who cannot be allowed to rule. That is Saralja.
Oh.
The warmonger.
It's not the other guy. Bakul Jaja.
Cryon, are you alright?
The echo.
Oh.
It gave me a glimpse into Saralja's ambitions.
We didn't get that.
Deep and unknowable, like an abyss. Yet at the same time, a roaring, unquenchable fire.
Very, very rare in the story has one of our companions had a glimpse into the echo that we haven't seen at the same time.
It was a trifle terrifying, to be frank.
Of course, Cryle is much more susceptible, linked to this stuff, having been a kind of pseudo-avatar of Hydaelyn for a little while. So this is Kona. Kona?
Second promise. You must bring us more marvelous conveniences. More dirigibles and trains and the like. We need you in charge to make trading easier. The elders, they complain and complain about abandoning tradition.
So he's the favoured with the youth.
You have our wholehearted support. With your ingenuity and knowledge, you're sure to win the contest.
They need somebody who's well-rounded.
Forgive me, but the Rite of Succession is barely begun. I will hear your petitions if and when I am named Dawn Servant. If you will excuse me.
He doesn't seem as confident.
Plain spoken, as always. That's Arcona. Practical to a fault.
Huh.
Here we have Kona, the second promise, who spent time as a pupil at Charlian's own studio.
Yes.
Now that you mention it, I think I did see him in the halls once or twice. There was nothing to suggest he was Turali, much less from a royal family.
He was in disguise, if I remember correctly. Look at the subsurface scattering in those ears.
That was by design. He forwent his usual garb and took an Eorzean name to avoid attention.
So it was Kona who introduced the dirigibles. And the railway too, given what we just heard.
In furtherance of his goal, to enrich Tuliyolal with every bright notion he learned of in Sharlayan. He is the hope of those who prize innovation.
Yeah, so this is where the clash is going to come, isn't it? It's a clash of ideologies, a clash of disparate people and different ideas when the current ruler has a more rounded approach to things.
As aloof as he may seem, Kona and Wuklamat actually get along rather well. They bicker and banter as only close siblings do.
That's like me and my sister. Oh, this dickhead. I mean, this claimant.
How gracious of you all to cheer the lesser claimants.
Apparently people like this dude. Well, some people like this dude. Interesting.
Oh, come now. What are you afraid of? I'm no different from your Dawn servant. That my kind should reign is Mamulja tradition, and has been so since before there was a Tuliyolal.
I noticed that it's Bakuljajar the Mighty that does most of the talking.
I'll brush aside your feeble contenders. And then you'll see who deserves your fealty.
Well said, brother.
Yes. Oddly soft-spoken.
The Mamulja have finally found peace in Tuliyolal. I pity those fanatics are intent on keeping that tradition alive.
Bunoir. Bunoir are the chameleon ones. It'll take me ages to remember this.
Bakuljaja, winner of the recent martial tournament, and the only claimant not of the Dawn's promise.
They're doing a reasonably decent job of trying to get these new characters straight in our heads with this.
His strength is
unfortunately, I've got a bloody awful memory, so
you see
probably not going to work.
A few devoted Mamulja are his only supporters.
Nah.
What would he do with the throne should he win it?
Yeah.
His policies and so forth. I doubt he's thought much beyond winning the contest itself. But one thing seems certain. If he does become Dawn servant, he will see the Mamulja exalted as the ruling class.
I like the fact that Erenvel
forced into subservience.
Erenvel says seems certain. No, so he's not positive, but he's pretty sure that that's what Bakul will do.
Sounds like another that cannot be allowed to rule.
As I say, not a fan. Interesting that everybody's walking off before Wuklamat comes out. He doesn't seem to have a lot of supports. Interesting.
We wish for one thing and one thing only, Third Promise. To abide together in harmony with our neighbors whom we love in this land we share. It is our way, the Turoli way.
Galul Jaja built for us this peaceful nation, and we beg you to preserve it.
You have my word. I won't let your pleas go unanswered.
There are going to be multiple twists and turns as we make our way
was
upwards.
founded some 80 years ago. This continent was ravaged by war. The eldest among us remember that dark era, and they are Wuklamat's most ardent supporters.
Interesting. So she comes across as kind of the youngest, and yet she's got the support of the eldest.
Apologies. It's hard to get away. This is Namika, my childhood nursemaid. She's been like a mother to me my whole life. I told her it wasn't necessary, but she insisted on seeing us off.
I place our precious third promise into your care.
Did you know Wuklamat was taking part in the Rite of Succession?
Of the Dawn's promise? I thought it was only Zoralja and Kona. If she has any accomplishments to her name, I've yet to hear them.
Compared to the two Mamulja, she pales in martial prowess. And then there's Kona, who's far and away the most educated of the bunch. I hate to say it, but it's hardly a competition.
It's fine. More than anyone, I understand how much better my brothers are than me.
Well, at least she's grounded, I suppose.
Better? Wuklamat, I have never thought of you as the lesser sibling. Your brothers may excel in their respective ways, but you both
Yeah, she's the most rounded.
a strength that is yours alone. Having cared for you for so long, I should know.
Thank you, Namika. Well, we ought to be on our way.
Yeah, we've got a whole expansion. Yeah.
Yes, hurry along. I await word of your victory with bated breath.
Clear who her favourite is. Off we go then. Bye. Interesting. I assume Wuklamat is going to be our tank for dungeons then. For this side of the story at least. But I'm assuming there's going to be more with the others. I know not what drives Zoralja, but it engulfs him like an inferno. So, Khan the second promises intent on developing his country by means of Charlene innovations. Given his background, I suppose it should come as no surprise. Ali? There we go. That's two-headed claimant, Bakul Jar Jar treats everyone around him as lesser beings. No doubt he'd try to elevate the Mamuldra above other races should he become dorm servants. Not unlike how the Garlean Empire afforded special status to pure-blood Garleans. Well, so much for the brief reunion I had in mind. I does not want to waste time when he decides to act. I'm used to it by now, of course, but others are often caught off guard. In any case, we should talk about how we're going to find the City of Gold. All we have to work with are the 7 tablets and their connection to the Tuliyolal saga. Might I suggest first comparing the tablets against the pillars? We could check for any discrepancies between them. Good idea. Let's go and take a look. Back we go to the pillars. The studium has been added to the unending codex. Okay. Speak with Alfino. Alfino? How do we want to do that? Oh shoot, you can actually jump onto the rooftops. That's good to know. And my umbrella? It's not breaking my fall! Oof. Well, that's definitely one way of getting down. I assume I can get through here. I'm so glad that the place isn't full of invisible walls, because they could very well have made it like that. Gemstone Trader, Ricana? Ricana. I think this is going to be a long playthrough. Especially because I can already feel my voice going. I think I need to dye this outfit, don't I? I'll do that in between. In between episodes. Wuklmats. At a glance, they seem much the same. Interesting. The thing only works when we approach and we're not engaged in interaction, which is kind of odd. The preparation of intricately carved tablets for every claimant must have taken considerable effort and forethought. We should consider them weighty reminders that this contest is no light-hearted matter. That makes everyone. Proclamat the tablets if you would. Of course. Everyone has a tablet? And let's compare them to their respective pillars. Keep an eye out for even the smallest differences. Nod, 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 nod. Give us the blank one. All identical? Or slight discrepancy? Unless I'm missing something, the glyphs appear to be identical. The only difference being that the tablets have hollows where the keystones to be fitted. So, now that we've established that the scenes are the same, where do we go from here? The Dawn servant said we were to retrace the path he walked in uniting Tural's people, and that we would encounter 7 electors along the way. Then we have the answer here in front of us. Papa's path is all laid out in the Tuliyolal saga. There's going to be more to it than this. The event the glyphs portray. Do we know the exact locations where they took place? If one is close, we could go there and search for an elector. That would confirm we're on the right track. Let me think. The Lay of Reeds was in the nearby Hanu settlement. Papa took me there once. It was during festival season and the whole village was alive with good cheer. There's also the Lay of Gold. That one involved the Pelu village, which is about the same distance from here. Are we going to get the choice? Before going anywhere, we should ask around about the road ahead. I heard a lot of talk as we toured the city about that storm we passed through at sea. Apparently it ravaged Jacques Tural several days ago. Since our roads are not as well paved as Eorzea's, they're more susceptible to damage from natural disasters. If we want to avoid wasting time taking a dead-end trail, I suggest we spend a few moments making inquiries. If it's information we need, just leave it to me. I'll bring the information to us. Oh? Me. It would be prudent to ensure we're prepared for the journey. I'll guide you to the accommodations I've arranged. Nod. I've already lost track of the nod counter. I look very orange. I don't know why I look very orange. I'll try to see if I can do something about that in the interim, since I think we're almost done with this second quest. This is accommodation? That's right, the reservation is under Wuklamat's name. If you don't mind, I'll leave my companions to you. Certainly, sir. Peshaqua. I'll go and track down the third promise. Once you've finished organising your gear, you can meet us outside. I'm so sorry if these are based on real names and I'm butchering them horrendously. Greetings, visitors to Tuliyolal, and welcome to the Forward Cabins. Whenever you are ready, I will show you to your rooms. Nod. Oh, I see. There's cabins on the waterfront. Okay, cool. Wait, at the designated location? Somebody's just obtained level 91, which is quite impressive. Oh, is this our designated cabin? Await your companions and embark on the Rite of Succession. Sure. This music's far too catchy. Far too catchy. Just you to be the keenest to head out, Demajen. That's because I've got no stuff. But where are Aaronville and Wooklemat, I wonder? Aha! Vanu Vanu. And a Pelu Pelu. Pelu Pelu? Is that right? Oh good, you're all here. Who might your companions be? Seeing as we needed information, I thought who better to get it from than the locals. These two hail from the villages we're thinking to visit. Smart. And wise. I give you credit for taking initiative at least. What do you mean at least? I am honoured that the third promise would seek my advice. I too am happy to answer your questions. Any encounter might be an opportunity to do business. Thank you both for your help. Before we begin, there will doubtless be other occasions where we need to act independently, so I bought these for the two of you. Aha! Link pearls! What's this? It is called a link pearl, a gemstone harvested from a special shell. When linked together, they allow people to communicate across great distances. Is that so? What a handy thing to have. They don't have link pearls here then. It'll be very useful on our travels. Speaking of which, I should get back to introducing my two new friends here. The Tuliyolal Saga features a number of Tural's clans. Two of those, the Hanu Hanu and the Pelu Pelu even, have settlements relatively close to the city, so I bought a representative of each. As I mentioned before, the Hanu are a cheerful people who love their festivals. These two are going to start two separate quest lines, aren't they? We're going to diverge here. Probably. Maybe. The Hanu are cheerful people who love their festivals. They make their appearance in the Lay of Reeds, and their home village, Okhanu, is located in Kozamauka. The other, smaller fellow, is one of the Pelu, a clan of business-minded folk from Ukapacha. They appear in the Lay of Gold and craft all kinds of marvellous goods in Wuchumpelo, their village. Now, as for deciding which village to visit first, why don't you put that adventurous instinct of yours to work for us, Demajen? Pick our destination. Upon completing this quest, the main scenario will branch into two quest paths. Accepting the quest from the helpful Hanu will temporarily prevent you from accepting the quest from the approachable Pelu, and vice versa. The second quest path will become available from the respective NPC once you've completed the series of quests from the first path. Furthermore, story elements and quest rewards will not be affected by your initial choice of path. Speak with the NPC you prefer, and embark on the trial for the Rite of Succession. Okay, so we have got a choice of paths. I'm going to go and grab a quick bite to each, because a bite to each. I'm doing well with this talking thing, aren't I? I'm going to go and grab a quick bite to eat. Whilst doing so, I will make probably a decision about which of these two approachable or helpful individuals, and I'm going to try to see if I can do something about the camera. I don't know if the camera's red because the screen is quite red, or if it's just because it's really warm in here. 25.5 degrees, so it's cooler than I was expecting, thank God. but still not quite as cool as I would probably like. In fact, I might turn the lights off for a bit as well. Really liking this so far, but this music, always like the kind of appreciation of the new music that we are being blessed with. Also, I want to have a little look-see at the dice system as well. Next time, choice to make. Join me for that, and have a great day. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.